Hey guys, hey everybody. And look, I know we're a couple of minutes late, but we've got a perfect reason for being a couple of minutes late. But we are here, we're here. Thank you for tuning in to the Tisa Batey Show. And listen, this is going to be a really good show. We're talking today about, is it okay to vent about your relationship to people outside your relationship? Is it okay to do so? We're going to have a lot of comments and a lot of different viewpoints today on the Tisa Batey Show. So I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and start sharing this with everybody. We're going to give you a few minutes to share. We're just having dinner here, just me and some sorors and DJ Grady Baby. I'm here with my sorority sisters, DJ Grady Baby. Shout out to the Olive Garden here in Morrow for allowing us to do the podcast here. The staff is phenomenal. The food, of course, you know, Olive Garden. You can never go wrong with Olive Garden. Come on, guys. So Olive Garden here in Morrow. If you haven't been here, make sure that you get by and support them. They're great bunch of people, and the food is wonderful. So shout out to them for letting us do this here. Go ahead. I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to go ahead and share this with everybody that you can, and then we're going to get started, and we are going to look forward to your feedback. Hey, Kamara. Hey, Johnny's, my cousin. Hey, my sister. She says, where y'all at? Happy birthday, Tammy. Nikki says, happy birthday, Tammy. Tammy says, thank you. Hey, Carolyn Bush. Carolyn is watching. Hey, Vicky. We've got Vicky who's watching. Hey, Mo. Hey, Princess. Good to have you guys. So if you guys, Tay Wilkerson, Alicia Fletcher, Johnson, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you'll just take a few minutes and share this with everyone, share it with your friends. We're going to get started right here shortly. So give us just a few minutes. I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to share, and then we're going to dive into this topic. Is it okay? Steve Brickett, hey Steve, is it okay to share your personal relationship, details of your personal relationship, problems of your personal relationship, all that jazz? Is it okay to share this with people outside your relationship? It's going to be good. So go ahead and share it. We'll start in just a second, guys. Thank you. All right. What do we have here? Oh, it's not good? Well, everybody messes up every once in a while.
That's right. Liz gonna take care of us.
All right, we've got Patricia on. We've got Grady. We've got Nia. Thank you so much. We're just getting situated. And we're about to start this podcast. Go ahead, everybody. Once again, please go ahead and share this with everybody you know, all your friends, everybody you think could benefit from this as we get ready to dive into this subject. Is it okay? Hey, Mike Jones, my friend. Hey, Kim. Is it okay to share or vent about your personal relationship to people who are outside your relationship? Hey, Valerie. That's what we're going to be talking about today on the Tisa Batey Show. So stay tuned. We'll give you guys 2 minutes to share this with everybody, and then we're going to dive in. Here with my sorority sisters today, and of course, the always infamous Crazy Grady Baby. We do want to say, you know, we offer our condolences today to the crazy DJ Grady Baby, who is here with us today, but who lost his mother last night. And we want to be mindful of that. And so we ask all the viewers, we're just asking each and every one of you guys to just pray for him and pray for his strength. He wants to be here tonight because it's therapeutic for him to be here. But of course, that's some really tough news for him. So we are soliciting the prayers of each and every one of you guys. So hey guys, listen. I think it's about that time. We need to go ahead and dive in and get started. But before we get started, check this out. It is mine. And Kiss, I'm going to ask you to come in just a little bit. It's my soror's birthday, guys. And you guys know her. You guys know she's been on the show a couple of times. You guys know her and love her. Lean up for them, T. The one and only Tammy Smith. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. So it's Tammy's birthday today, guys. And she's the one who came up with this topic. We were just together, just talking and chatting and just, So she came up with this topic. So we want to talk about this today on the Tisa Batey Show. Is it okay to share or vent about your personal relationship to people outside the relationship? For whatever reason, is it okay? So let's just talk about it, guys. Let's go ahead. Is it okay to talk about your personal and we're just and let me just preface by saying this. We're completely transparent. There are no right or wrong answers.
Well,
Loosen up the lips because we're just talking. We're having girlfriend talk in front of the world.
Okay. Well.
So and please let your voices be heard. So speak a little bit loud.
Tisha, can you announce the title of the show to?
Can I announce the title of the show
is
again?
it okay? Yeah, because
Is it okay to discuss or vent about your personal relationships to people outside the relationship? Is that okay? And people do it for various reasons. Some say it's okay, some say it's not. There's no right or wrong answer. There's never a right or wrong answer. It's just people are different, so people do different things. We want to talk about both sides. So let's talk about it. Kisslyn, what do you say?
Well, my belief is I just feel that you should share with people that want you both to win. Don't vent to someone who's going to automatically take a side and
Share
not
with
listen.
people who want you to win.
Who want your relationship to be successful.
Very, very good. So in that regard, she's saying yes, it's okay. As long as you share with people who want you to win, it's okay to vent. Nikki, what do you say?
I would say I like to get other people's perspective, so I would say yes.
Okay, and she also says yes. She says it's good. She enjoys getting other people's perspectives. So, everybody has a different take on it. Tammy, what is your opinion?
Actually, I do. I don't mind. It's just that I don't share a lot of what I say with other people because the stuff that I have is not really. I won't say I'll just go to any and everybody, to whoever catches it. That's how I put it. Whoever's there to catch it when I'm there. You may not be there to catch it when I need to talk to somebody. You may not be there. I see y'all in my close circle of friends, my sorors, my line sisters and stuff, but you may not be there when I need it to vent. And
So would you vent to just anybody at that time, or do you say?
I would. It just depends on how tempting or how I need to get off my chest. I'm not going to hold it in. So definitely whoever's there is going to catch it.
Okay, that's interesting. DJ Grady, baby, what is your perspective on that? Do you think that it's okay to vent to people about your relationship?
It's okay, but it depends.
Remember, they need to hear you there.
It's okay. It's depending on who you're venting to.
It's depending on who you're venting to. Quantify that point.
Listen, like it could be somebody that really don't know the other person, and then you may say something about what's going on. Then that person have a view of that person based off your feelings and emotions. And then once they finally leave it, because it may have blown over with you guys, but this person is still harboring or holding.
Anybody have a phone that I can read the comments on? Because I can already tell you, I can barely hear you there, so I know they can't hear you.
It's a good thing. It depends on the person. Like I said, I've been on both sides where I've been with somebody about an issue, and that person kind of doubled up around. Based on from the last show that we had, talking about the dating somebody over ex, like that.
Okay.
So basically, I've been into the person behind my back and trying to talk to the person. So
it has its good and bad points.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nikki says, love you, DJ Grady, baby. Love you, DJ. Mo says happy birthday, Tammy.
Thank you.
Nikki also says there are different levels to that right there. She says, can I call in? You know we're not there yet, Banks, but you know we're working on it. We did have that capability last week, but because of what DJ Grady Baby has gone through last night, everything is a little bit disheveled today. So, no, not today, but you can certainly continue to comment and we will read them. Here's my take on whether or not you should share your personal relationship. Excuse me? Here's my personal opinion, guys. Listen, I was raised in a house, and anybody who knows my mother knows that I was raised to believe that whatever happens in your house stays in your house. I can actually say that I govern myself by that rule, that particular rule throughout my entire marriage. I was married for 14 years, and because I was raised to believe that that was the right thing to do, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, or it's just somewhere, it's indifferent. Nobody's opinion is right or wrong. People's opinions are just what they are, their opinions. But I governed myself by that rule the entire time that I was married. And I didn't realize how much damage it did to me until something more traumatic happened, and then something a little more traumatic happened, and then something a little more traumatic happened, and then eventually I broke. So I think it's good, my opinion now, is I think it's very, very good to have an outlet, a positive outlet, and I'll piggyback on what my soror Kislin said. I think that as long as you vent to people who don't have a dog in the race, who can remain completely and totally unbiased, and even if you're venting to your friends who have your back but are bold enough to tell you when you're wrong, that can be a good thing. The last thing I want to do anymore is vent to people who are just yes people. People who seemingly have my back, but at the end of the day, do they really? Like, do they really if they don't tell you that you're wrong? What's y'all's opinion on that? Does a person really have your back if they don't tell you you're wrong?
Some people are afraid how you'll take it.
They're afraid of how you'll take it.
Everybody don't have that strength to tell you, or don't know that you'll receive it. Everybody won't even receive the truth that you give them.
Wow.
So you have to be careful. Choose your words wisely.
Choose your words wisely. Choose your words wisely. Hey guys, tell me. I need to know. Can you guys hear us out there? If you can hear us, let me know. If you can't hear us, then I need to do some switching around to make sure that the viewers can hear us. For some reason, I feel like you guys can't hear us too well. And this is a topic that we need to make sure everybody hears us on. So if you can't hear us, let us know, because we want to make sure that everybody's comments are heard. So let us know if you can hear us. Give us just a few seconds. I'm going to have to sort of resituate things. But we want to make sure that everybody can be heard. Hold on one second, guys.
He's a little bit back up on the bar, but the manager just went behind him to help him. So I'll make sure you'll come out. All right. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so we're talking, guys. We're talking. Okay, we're back on. So let us know if you can hear us.
At all. They can get their thing.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with the podcast, guys. Sorry. So what do you think? I mean, so we were talking about whether or not people really have your back if they don't tell you when you're wrong. We were saying that sometimes people will withhold the truth and just be yes friends because they're afraid of how you might take it, correct?
Right. Sometimes you want to need to vent to me, also to somebody that has kind of experienced what you've been through, to give you some knowledge on what they've been through. Because sometimes it helps for them to, because they've been through it, and you can ask them about it. Like I was saying earlier, it doesn't make a difference if the person that I'm just, whoever's there for me to vent to can be. And I would say, like you said, selective on those who may be in the same position I am as being married. And, I would, talk to somebody, or even if they're not married, they've been married and went through the same situation as I've been through, and I've known it because we've talked about this situation before. Maybe they have experienced something like that.
Very, very good. Very, very good. So Tammy says that sometimes it really helps to vent to people who have been through what you've been through in order to get, some really solid feedback. It's one thing to go through some things and to talk to people who haven't been through what you've been through. I don't know if that would necessarily get you the expected result. It's something altogether different to vent to someone who can give you advice based on what they've actually been through, their own personal experiences. So that's good. Angela Gibson, you say yes, but what are you saying yes to? Sort of elaborate on that for us, if you will. You say yes, so I'm assuming you mean yes, it is okay to vent to people about your personal relationship, but what are I guess my question is, what are the boundaries? What are the boundaries to your venting?
You have to establish those for yourself, though, don't you? Are you venting just to get it off your chest? Are you venting just because you're unhappy? Are you venting because you really want some guidance from the person that you're venting to?
That's good. Right. So Kislin says you have to establish those boundaries yourself. Why are you venting? Let me just give you a little bit of my personal experience in venting. So during the time that I was married, I didn't believe in venting. I didn't believe in the venting because I was raised to believe that whatever happens in your house stays in your house. Okay, we've already established that. But my partner did believe in venting, and sometimes I felt like he would vent to anybody who would listen. So that made things really, really difficult for us. And especially when you're talking about when you bring in-laws into the mix. Okay, let's talk about the in-laws, guys. Can we just talk about it? No pressure, just dialogue here. But when we talk about the in-laws, when we factor them in to the situation, the whole dynamic changes. Because even though he may have been venting to people who cared about him, they weren't necessarily able to separate the fact that he needed help and he was crying out for help from the fact that he was with somebody that they thought was hurting him or whatever. And I think that it's a very, very natural instinct for parents and siblings to want the best for each other. So sometimes when you're venting to people who are in your close family circle, it causes tension because you're staying with that person, okay? But your parents, your family now view them altogether differently. And you still want this wife or husband to be around, your family, but they know that they're no longer received. They're no longer well received. That creates a problem.
It's a fine line. Your in-laws become outlaws.
Your in-laws become outlaws. Very, very good. Yeah.
I suggest don't vent to your in-laws because, like I said, they will look at it and they will hold on to it and they'll never let it go. Never let it go. I think men, it's me personally, I think men vent more than ladies, I guess, because...
You think men vent more than ladies?
Yes. Oh, man, yes.
DJ Grady Baby says he thinks men vent more than ladies.
Yeah.
I just said no.
Because things that we really want to share with you guys, we share it with our boys. Like, man, I want to say this and that, you know.
I can sort of believe. Okay, so I can believe that. Okay, now I can believe that. Not only was my relationship that way, but now that you say that, I mean, let's face it, guys talk about everything. They just don't admit to the world that they talk about everything.
And they don't hold as much in when they're with their boys as we hold in.
We hold in a lot more as women.
Because we're embarrassed.
I think they get embarrassed too.
It's not.
I think they depend.
It's a different kind with men. You know, it's a teasing like thing, but it's not an embarrassment type of thing. You know, we may share things amongst each other, but you know, it's something that's, you know, like something that kind of catch off guard. We kind of tease about it, but they're like, hey, this is how you can fix it. You know, we don't shame them or anything like that, but we do try to coach the best way we can. And most young guys they're making a mistake now of venting with people that can't help them. They don't have that experience.
Wow, that's good.
So as I was growing up, like when I was in like 25, I've been into guys that was 50 that been through what I'm going through. So I had that.
Yeah,
right
somebody can help you.
Yeah. So I'm an old soul.
You know, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
G. Tammy says, need to take that to therapy because y'all will have moved on, but the people you pull in won't.
Yes.
Bam.
Yes.
Very, very good. Oh my gosh.
Yes, but it's expensive therapy. Bill, though.
It don't matter how expensive it is, boo boo, if it can resolve those issues and help your relationship.
Let me tell you
That's
what I
true.
did with my current wife. So before we got married, we had this little game we played. Whoever has the issue will take. Let's say like I'll take you to court, but I'm the judge and the attorney. So, so when I'm trying to plead my case, I plead my case. I said, if you have any question, you have to object, and I'm overruled every time. So you know, but we play like little games or something like that where we both can speak our mind, and I'll give her the forces to speak. That's how we get a better understanding of each other.
What's up, Kay Renee?
What's your likes and dislikes, or this is what I don't like, these are my triggers. Especially like with a man.
Triggers are very important.
Yes. If you repeat something, it's like, hey, take out the trash. Then you come back, take out the trash, you keep doing it. We're not going to do it. We're just going to lock out. We're just going to block you out. So we hear you the first time, allow us to react. Most women want us to react instantly. Give us a chance to process whatever you're asking us, then to do it.
Is it that you're processing it, or is it that you're just being stubborn and you're determined that you're going to do it?
You don't like being told.
It doesn't take a long time to process, take out the trash.
Because we debating ourselves, should I do this and that? Give us time to process and weigh this thing out. But we're going to do it anyway.
But you're
On
not
your own
processing
time.
it. You're
They
just
want to
being,
do it
you're
on
being,
their time.
no, you're not processing take out the trash. That's a very simple request. Or
It's not what you say to a man, it's how you say it. So if you say it harsh, hold on now, you're not my mother, so we're going to be stubborn. But if you say, hey, baby, take out, okay, right, gotcha.
Each time you be stroked.
Yeah.
and that can be very, very time consuming, stroking a man. Sometimes they need to just be
That's
stroked.
why
Let's just face it.
I'm about to say something crazy.
Anyway, what's going on, Kay Renee? Kay Renee said it's okay to vent to your trusted source only. Your trusted source only. However, quantify trusted source.
Yes.
You know, because I could be a trusted source and you can trust me that your business is going no further than us, but that does not mean that I necessarily will give you advice that's going to help you in your relationship. I may just want you to be good. I may just want you to be okay. Sometimes our trusted sources just want us to be okay. I think that when you vent, it's very important to vent to people who have thick skin. Let me say this, thick skin, and who have no problems being completely and totally open and honest to you, with you, and about you. Other than that, it's not going to work.
Let me ask you this. What if you went to a person and they give you some advice and it was terribly wrong? Do you go back and vent to that person again or look for advice?
No, it's like it's a lesson learned.
Right.
I mean, if you give me bad advice once, now it's not to say that I won't come back to you because I'm gonna use my own spirit of discernment to sort of figure out if your advice was coming from the right place. I think that if your advice was coming from the right place, like if you have the right heart, and if you gave the advice based on what you really thought was best for me in the situation, even if it didn't turn out to be the best advice, I'm not going to hold that against you. I mean, I'm not coming to you because I feel like you have psychic abilities, and sometimes the only way that you can nail it each time is if you have some type of psychic abilities or gifts. We mess up every day.
Yeah. And I guess with some men, that's probably jealous of your situation. Like, he don't deserve this girl. He give us some messed up advice, and what he do, like the court of law, he use it and hold it against him, and then he go back and tell the girl, well, you know, your old man was doing this, you know.
That's the wrong person
Yeah,
in the first
baby.
place.
Use it against you.
That's not a trusted source.
No, it's not a trusted source. And I had that happen to
No,
me
well,
in
I'm saying,
college.
but you never knew.
I had that happen to me in college, just let me say.
Yeah.
There was a situation where I had a roommate, and I got wind that her boyfriend was cheating on her. And so I'm just trying to be this good friend, you know, and I went to her and I shared with her what I had discovered. And it backfired on me. And I have never done that since. What I did was I told her, you know, they say that the such and such is cheating. And they said, and I gave her the names. He's cheating with this person. Well, she goes back and tells that boyfriend that Tisa said, you are cheating on me. And it just wasn't a pretty outcome. It wasn't what I expected. Sometimes you can be ready to take, or you can invite information like that about your life or about your significant other. If that happened to me, I would want to know. Just me personally, I would want to know. But everybody's not in a position where they're mature enough and they're emotionally stable enough to handle the information that you have to tell them. So I've just sort of learned to be standoffish and hear the information that I hear and, you know, make an informed decision as to whether or not I need to share this with my girlfriends. I pray about it, and based on each individual relationship that I have with each individual girlfriend, I know whether or not I can share this information. Because you can't share that information with everybody. Come on, somebody.
Most people, they react on impulse and emotions.
Most people react on impulse and emotions. You're right, Brady, baby. Angela Gibson, what's going on? Angela says, yes, you can share it, but what about that person being defensive?
That's what
She says, I fight that a lot.
they want to fit, but they don't want to receive what you have to tell them.
Exactly.
If you want my opinion,
Yeah, if you're asking for my opinion, if you just want to vent, I can sit and listen to you all day and not make a comment and just say, girl, I'm there for you. Like, I'm there for you, I hear you. But once you ask me for my opinion, you have to make sure that you're willing and able to hear what I have to say. If you don't want my opinion, don't ask.
Exactly.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah. Because people can't handle the truth.
No, people can't always handle the truth. Bengula Brown. Now this is a new name. Hey, Bengula. Is this one of your buddies? Hey, Bengula. So glad you tuned in today. Bengula says no. She said because they could have motives behind listening. Come on, somebody. It has to be a long-term trusted friend. That person might not have both persons' best interest at heart. Very, very good. You're absolutely right. And that's what we've just talked about, you know. It's okay. I mean, and let's just face it, it's okay to, I think it's okay. I mean, it's your personal choice. If you want to vent to everybody, that's your choice. That's your decision. You just have to be ready for what the backlash is. You know what I'm saying? You have to be ready for that. Alicia Fletcher, hey Fletch. She says you cannot vent to family because they usually take your side, right or wrong. And and I'm glad you ended with that right or wrong. I had a father who, it didn't matter if I robbed a bank or if I, you know what I'm saying? If I stole, if I shot, killed, destroyed, I don't care what I did. He would always find a reason to have my back. And he would always find a reason to support me. Period. It didn't matter whether I was right or wrong. On the flip side, I had a mother who felt like right is right and wrong is wrong. So if you don't want my opinion, don't ask me, because if you're wrong, I'm going to tell you. But you're absolutely right, Alicia. Family members often have a hard time not having your back, regardless of whether you're right or wrong. You can be dead wrong, and your family members are going to be mad at your significant other because of the blowout, even though it might be your fault. They will take your side, and that's not good.
It determines on how you deliver when you vent it. You may not tell your full side. You just tell them what he did.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do that. A lot of people, when they're venting, they're only telling.
Right.
They're good at telling their side.
They say it's always your side, their side,
And the truth.
And the
Three
truth.
sides.
And the truth. Oh my! But Alicia also says she agrees that men do vent more. And Nikki also says men vent more than we do. LOL. So you were really surprised by this.
I think because a lot of times, you know, depending on what it is, that men will like not want to share, like, you know, and I say that because I've known people, you know, who I've been in a situation I'm like, look, I could have sworn that they needed, like, let's say for instance a divorce, you know, and the men would not have shared the fact that they've been divorced. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
What do you mean they wouldn't have shared the fact that they've been divorced?
they had, like, that didn't come up in a conversation. And it could be that they're just that's not somebody that they're close to. So perhaps that's it.
Do you think men are more ashamed of being divorced than women?
I don't necessarily say shame, but I think that it goes back to them. I guess it depends on the person. Because if that's the type of person who, you know, I think it's going back to people. There's some women who don't share it. There's some men who don't share anything. So it depends on who it is. I wouldn't say men talk about everything. Because, you know, that's not necessarily true. Like, not all women. People think that sit around and discuss everything, but that's not necessarily true.
Well, let's just say men that are in a tight circle.
Say that again.
Men that are in a, you know, have a tight circle.
But you might have somebody in that circle that they're not telling everything.
Oh, right. There are people who are in tight circles all the time and do not share their business. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it goes back to people. Like, that's just it could be like work order. It could be.
Yeah, because I had some real tight circles when I was married, even with y'all. Like, these are my line sisters. But none of y'all knew. Every one of them were caught off guard when I said I'm getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were caught off guard. Why? Because I didn't share my business with any of them. I didn't share my business with my family. I just didn't believe in doing that. I didn't see back then the benefits that are associated with sharing your business. And even though I do believe that there is value in maintaining a level of privacy within your relationship, I also now have come to respect and know and admit that there is certainly value in sharing your woes, not only your ups, but also your downs, and offloading that, because when you carry all that on the inside, it can have some very adverse effects.
I would like to retract and clarify.
Say that louder.
I would like to retract and clarify my statement from earlier. That men do vent, but they only vent with selective people. People that they respect or that's knowledgeable, like that. And they do that. But not with everybody.
Okay, Angela says, some men vent for sure. Are they insecure? Does this have anything to do with men being insecure?
I wouldn't think it's insecure once you're dealing with the feelings that they're feeling.
I think that everybody is insecure to a certain extent, but I don't know that it has anything to do with the venting. I think that some men, as well as women, just need an outlet. They need answers. I think that when you find a man who vents, he is acknowledging the fact that he doesn't have all the answers. Yeah. So I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I do think that it's a bad thing if you vent the wrong way. If you are tearing down your partner to other people, that's not the right way to vent. If after you're venting, you have left that person that you're venting to, if you have left them with some really negative views on your partner, you haven't vented the right way. I think that when you're venting, you need to be able to give both sides of the story, and I think that you need to do it in a way that still protects the integrity of the person that you're with. If you can't do that, if you can't protect the integrity of the person that you're with, then obviously you probably lost respect for that person. It might be time to go. I'm just saying, you don't want anybody thinking badly of the person that you're laying down with every night, do you? I don't. It's important to me that everybody. I don't want to think badly. You want to like them.
It's kind of like sending an email when you're upset. You're going to stop. You're not going to do that. You're going to stop, wait until your emotions self-subsided. Then put your thoughts together.
Right.
It's the same thing when you have a discussion about someone else. It's only fair to kind of like, I mean, and again, when you're talking with your friend, I mean, your friends should know, if you're your close friend, they're not going to take it like, oh, you just, if you're so upset, sometimes you can't hold it back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like,
And if you do hold it back, it's not the best thing.
right. So,
Like,
so it's like,
because you have to.
yeah, you gotta let your
flow.
emotions out,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it depends on who you talk to. Like that person, if I say, I mean, I cannot stand Tisa. I mean, she just get on my nerves like that. I really don't mean that. I'm in that moment right there.
Right.
Then later, once you got that out, now you're like, okay, let me tell you what happened. You know what I mean? But that's just a human part of you. Like,
Right.
Get out your shit. Yeah.
A lot of times when for men who vent, we vent only so much. The top two things we vent about, mistakes that we made or something that the other person has done. Those are the top two reasons why men vent. And a lot of times,
Yeah, because I'm not understanding that. I don't understand what you're saying.
okay. One reason I said, number one reason, men probably vent if they made a mistake and a woman get on them about it. Right? They get busted in a situation.
But are they venting because they're busted, or are they venting because their woman has made them mad because she is nagging?
A lot of times they vent because they're mad at themselves. And then on top of that, how the other person who they offended responded. So they beat themselves up. Then like, man, she won't talk to me, she won't do this and that, blah, blah. So we're kind of going for counsel. So
Well, I think men. I'm now the men. Now some of the men I know. Now just let me explain them. Some of the men I know vent very negatively about the woman that they're with. And I think men, even more so than women, are very good at venting one-sidedly. Men have a tendency to tell only their side of the story. When they're angry. When they're angry. Now, if they're not angry, it's one thing. But I think when men are angry versus when women are angry, I think men have a tendency to tell one side of the story.
So, in our men circle, when the guy started talking about what the woman did, we immediately stopped and like, what did you do? Then he'd be like, oh man, dog, well, I was doing this. No, it's your fault. For every action, there's a reaction. Cause and effect.
So for every action, there's a reaction. Hey, Angie, Childress, how you doing?
That's how my circle of guys are. They're like, okay, what did you do? So we always challenge each other. What you do to cause her to act like this, to respond like this.
Okay, well that's good. Like Kislin says, you have a good circle. You have a good circle, and not everybody is that. you know, it would be a perfect world scenario to think that everybody would vent that way, but that's just not the case. I know in my situation, you know, during my marriage, you know, I was left to feel like I was, even even family members of his, since we've been divorced, have come up to me and said, I get it. Like, I understand why, you know, we perceived you one way when you all were married. You were perceived as being mean and just evil and just mad and just, she said, but they told me, like, we get it. We understand. And that's not even who you are. But that's the picture that he painted of me. Because they only knew of me what he told them of
So
me.
that leads me to this, you know, if you're with someone and you say you love them, even out care in the darkest moments, don't go and paint them a way that they're
Exactly. Don't do that. That is
Just
not
don't.
benefit. That is not good venting. That's what I was just
That's the
saying.
way that make you feel bad too.
Yes.
Why would you marry somebody like that? You know they was doing that when you were
Right.
dating.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? You make yourself really look like a fool.
You make yourself look like a fool because you're still with this person. Now you talking all this bad stuff about him, but you're not going anywhere. You're still there. So how intelligent do you look at the end of the day? You're not very. Angela Gibson says, "Is it ego?" Could be, Ange. Could very well be men venting.
Oh.
Is it ego? Hey, Tamara. Hey, Tamara. I have missed you, Tamara. Tamara says, but why not just do it? I shouldn't have to tell you. Just do it. And I'm assuming you're talking about taking out the trash. Boom. There you go. Why, at the end of the day, why does a woman even have to tell you to
Listen,
take out the
I
trash?
teach my mentees this. If you know what,
Very
a
good
woman
point, Tamara.
Have a issue with, do it. If you want her to shut up, don't say nothing to you. Have everything that she complained about done. Just have it done. Don't even.
But you shouldn't even
Go do
have
that.
to go. I mean, I just feel that even on the woman's side, it's a way. You know, a man already has a mom. He don't need his woman to be his mom.
You don't need as one.
You know,
Tamara also says she believes that couples need other good couple mentors and friends who want to see you successful.
Yeah.
That's an important thing. That's very
I
good.
have a story on that.
That's very good.
My first wife and I was going to marriage counseling at the church. So I kind of took it, I got offended that I felt it was one-sided. It was always about the woman. So one Sunday, I did not go to church. I didn't even go to marriage counseling. You know, the men in the group got together and came to the house and got me and made me come to their counseling.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, so.
but you shouldn't feel like that in counseling that your voice is not being heard or your side is not being heard.
You always
But
being ridiculed about it.
Yeah.
No one
I
should.
still have issues with that because they feel that we have to cater to women all the time, but it's never about us. We have to be strong, we have to be this and that. Okay, who's going to tell us when we need it? You know what I mean?
Okay,
So,
well, I don't necessarily agree with that.
yeah, it's give and take,
I don't
but-
necessarily agree with that, Brady, baby. I think that men need their egos stroked, and I think that women, I mean, if women don't stroke them, who does? So there are a lot of women who are very, very good. Okay, is that a piece of woman?
It better not be no man.
Okay, so she's, I'm just saying, she's still a woman, right?
Right.
So I think that there are some women out there who do a very, very good job at stroking your ego. I don't want to have to constantly stroke somebody's ego. The reason people need their ego stroked is because they're dealing with their own insecurity.
And you're not going to make them happy. You're going to
Yeah.
have to keep
I want to say this,
stroke,
ladies, it's
stroke.
okay to do that every now and then. We're not saying that we need it all.
Every now and then, okay.
But just every now we definitely know we need it every day.
Believing and supporting
Wow.
people, giving them what they need. We don't communicate our needs
I just
real
think it has
well.
to be reciprocated.
Yeah, it should be both ways.
Or if it's, you know,
It should be both ways.
Yeah, I agree, but I think more so with men. Men, we are sensitive. You know what I mean? We don't. I know we have a bravado about we don't. You know, every man needs a hug. You know, just instead of when he come home, don't be like, hey, you didn't do what you did today. You give him a hug, say how was your day. That's enough to knock that fight out of us.
That's only right. You've been battling in the world with him to go home. Both of you should have peace.
Kincora Wright says, hey Kincora, she says, that's what I tell my partner. You can't ask no advice from someone that you feel you can't do that feels you can't do any wrong. Very, very good. Hey Teresa Goins Brown, she says, don't ask me to come in and get mad when I walk through the door.
All right?
So it's coming right in.
Oh my goodness.
In other words, don't ask me for my advice, and then when I tell you, you can't take it. Very, very good. Yes.
One of the worst mistakes I made, I think I was 26 or something like that, 26, 27.
They can't hear you.
One of the worst mistakes I made when I was 26 or 27, I needed to go out and vent. None of my boys was around. So I went to a strip club.
You went to a strip club because, I mean, he's talking like you guys can hear him, but he said he went to a strip club.
Hear it.
Okay, if you don't want nobody to hear it, this ain't
No, they don't hear it on live. I have people listening live. But that cost me almost $200 just going there. You know, that's one of the worst.
So was that true? Was that?
No, it was donations.
Hey Matt. Matt says, hey guys. Ben, what's up, Ben? Ben Pate says facts. Absolute facts. Keisha Boyd, and I always love to hear from you, Keisha. She says, Keisha Boyd Love says, every relationship is entitled to their privacy. Some people do it for a release when you can't share each other's thoughts and feelings with one another. But usually if you're saying things to discredit, hold on. If you're saying things to discredit the other or speaking your truth because either spouses aren't allowing you to do that with them, yes, it's time to go because it's past the point of return. Yeah, when you're trying to discredit and tear the other person down, I mean, and I don't encourage anybody, if you're not in an abusive relationship, physically abusive, mentally, emotionally, whatever, I would never encourage anybody to just leave, but when you are at the point where you feel like you have to do everything to tear that other person down, why are you there? Like, I wouldn't want to lay down every night with a person that I feel like I have to go out of my way to discredit. I don't need to rally my troops. I don't need to rally my troops against my husband. Like, what sense does that make? Why do you stay?
We're supposed to be each other's back.
Exactly. We're supposed to have each other's back.
I knew somebody was going to mention leaving on this show tonight.
Well, I mean, let's just face it. It's always an option to leave. Nobody's ever going to make you stay. I'm not encouraging you to leave. What I'm saying is, if you get to a point where you feel like you need to tear each other down, what sense does it make you've obviously already lost respect for each other at that point, because you're not going to go out of your way to tear a person that you respect down to other people. You're not doing that, nor are you going to do that to me. Yeah, unless you got some type of issue, mental health issues or whatever, but you're not going to do that. Reggie Hines says no telling unless. I don't know what you say that to, but no telling unless what? Come on, Mr. Saxophone. I don't know what you're talking about.
I did have one guy that used to be in my circle. He would start a fight, arguing with the girl, just start to break up around.
Yeah, a lot, They do that coming up the holidays.
Yeah.
A lot of people about to break up this
A lot of people, what Brady said, you guys might not be able to hear him, is that he said that he has a guy who would, break up with, or start arguments with people just to break up with them, which is really stupid.
But you have some people that don't know how to break up.
Just know so you move on. Just so you can move on. That
know how to
relationship working for
They
him.
want to make it like a break up something.
Okay, well, you don't have to start an argument with me to break up. I mean, if you
Just
want
tell
to
me,
break
baby,
up,
just
the
say what I
best
want.
thing to do with me is just tell me. Just tell me.
I want to respect you and
Or just disappear.
Because I would rather not have anybody there who doesn't want to be there. You know, it should be certainly mutually beneficial. So if you don't, if you, the best way to break up with somebody is just to be upfront and honest. Don't have a person thinking that they did something or that their personality or something that they, who they are is the reason why you all have broken up. Don't do that to people because that just tears people down and makes them, you know, somebody who may already be dealing with self-esteem issues. Then you just further, you know, you further give into that. Don't do that. Just be honest enough to say, this is not working for me. It's not you, it's me. I know that sounds cliche, but that's the way it is. Ben Pate, this is a minister. Minister Ben Pate, come on through, Ben. Ben Pate says, we vent with our friends because we are mad at ourselves and we are looking for advice. That's what DJ Grady Baby said. Okay, he did say that. He says, I agree with Bruh. When we have our close circles that will hold us accountable and point out our good and bad, then men feel comfortable venting. I find it a little hard to believe too, but I guess, you know, we've got two men who were saying the same thing.
It's the type of man you are. The kind of man I know, he'll do it. He gonna lie on you to make him feel look good.
Sister said the type of man she knows.
There are some men that would do that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of men who do that. Let's face it. I mean,
Plenty of
Because
them.
the reason why they do that, they can't accept the truth about themselves.
That's it.
You know, so they have to put on a facade just to, yeah.
Don't get me started. That'll be a whole nother
In my
topic.
circle, we listen.
oh,
we like,
okay.
hey,
Good deal.
you put the mirror up and I'll let you, bro. You know, 'cause I
Okay.
had them do that to me.
So is it safe to say that, okay, at the end of the day, is it safe to say, okay, it's okay to vent to others, but don't do it when you're upset? But how realistic is that?
Well, I'm saying, like, don't do it with just, like you were saying, be particular about who you're talking
Right,
to.
exactly.
So for your friends and close friends who know, you know, like,
Right.
they know you, they know that, okay, she just really mad. Let me give her her moment to kind of just go there.
Right, okay,
You know what
okay,
I'm
I see.
saying? Like-
So it's
They're not
okay
gonna
to
hold
vent
it
when you're
against
mad,
the
but it
person
needs
that
to
you're
be,
venting against.
Huh?
They're not gonna hold it against that person
Right,
that you're
right,
venting
right.
about.
Because they know. I mean, it's like they know that
Yeah.
you're just in that heated moment.
and let's just be honest, I have some girlfriends who are gonna wanna, you know, do a drive-by and just eliminate the problem altogether, you know, deal with him. But for the most part, my girlfriends are very logical thinking and very level-headed, and they're going to be able to sort of reel me back in because I can get fire hot from time to time. But they're going to be level-headed enough to say, okay, let's look at both sides. That's what you need in your life, and you need both. Because what I do not want to ever do is discredit the ones who are there for you and your ride or dies. I don't ever want to discredit them because they are very, very necessary. Everybody, yes, they are. Everybody plays a different role. Everybody is equally as important, but I think that probably the ones that you want to vent to when you're angry are the ones who are the more level-headed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of your ride or die was going to take up on your behalf.
Yeah, some of your ride or dies are going to take action with or without your permission. Not always a good thing. Right, right. But I mean, let's just face it, everybody needs people like that in their life.
Like, remember that movie, what was that, Soul Food? When the sister went and told the brother, the cousin, that lamb.
Yeah.
Remember Soul Food from the beauty shop?
I remember Soul Food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's the way
remember
he
Soul
told her,
Food.
okay, I got it. We'll handle it.
Yeah.
A lot of times, Vincent,
Sometimes it will backfire on you. Sometimes it will certainly backfire on you. I can't believe it's been an entire hour that we went on this podcast already. It seems like we just started this podcast. Time really flies when you're having fun, guys.
I have a question for the listeners, though, for everybody here at the table.
Grady says he has a question for the listener.
For the ladies, it's really for the ladies. What do women vent about? You know, we can talk through things. I know it's a lot, but as far as what men, what's your
He wants to know what ladies vent about. Really?
Yeah, I told you what men vent about. We vent about ourselves.
Okay, so let me. call on me. Can I start?
No.
So, on my single journey, since I've been single. I have been single now for 12 years. Most of it by choice, but single for 12 years. What single women vent about is going to be completely different from what married women vent about. Can we agree to that?
Yes.
Yeah. So what single women, at least in Atlanta, because I just live in the A right now, what we vent about here is how silly and ridiculous some of these men who try to run game on you look. Like, do they really think we're that stupid? Do they really think that they turned over a rock and we were just laying there? Like, do they really think they can get away with just telling us whatever and we're supposed to believe it just because the words came out of your mouth? There are some men, let's just face it. How do you know they lying? Is their mouth open?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there.
That's
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying there are some men that you can rely on them telling the truth as much as you can rely on hell having an ice storm. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So that's what single women vent about. Men have a lot of options, so therefore they think that we should be willing and able to succumb to and believe whatever it is they have to tell us. That we should be receptive of their games. Yeah, not gonna happen. Some women are good with that. Let's just face it. Some women are really good with that because at the end of the day, they're desperate and all they want is to have a man and to say they have a man. But when you are dealing with a woman who knows who she is and knows her worth, yeah, that's going to work 0% of the time. I think that married women vent about something completely different. Why don't y'all talk about what married women vent about?
I would think my perspective of that would be if you're not getting the attention, that you get, like the cuddling, the affection, when you're able to, ask, somebody else in the same, relationship or been married just as long as you have. Is that still going on? I mean, I'm still getting it, but I'm just saying, does it stop? And, like it's on
Right.
and off.
That's very good.
But then being complimentary of, baby, you look good, or, that kind of stuff.
Attention.
Yes.
So married women often will vent about the lack of attention.
Or him taking the initiative to plan things. But like she always had to be the only one making the plans. For romantic things.
We talked about that before too. Why we always have to find a babysitter?
Why do we have to do
Yeah, right. All the time.
I think sometimes too married women are going to be the ones to complain and vent about, the finances, or, and I'm just saying sometimes, whether it's the lack of, whether it's him not doing what he needs to do with there are many things that married women are gonna vent about, but finances, not feeling like they're being taken care of. A woman wants to feel secure. It's the 3 S's: safety, security, stability. If she feels that in a relationship, you home free. You are pretty much home free. But if she doesn't have the 3 S's, she's gonna vent. Yeah. So that was a good question, DJ Grady Baby. But like single women and what as a single woman, what do you vent about?
I agree with what you said. I just the games they play and the lies they tell.
The games they play and the lies they tell.
Unnecessary lies.
The unnecessary, she says,
I mean, you tell
my
the
A
truth.
says the unnecessary lies.
The truth.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
I'm just waiting because I want to hear her comments. What she can say.
Radia, what as married and single, what do you think women complain about or vent about?
I think for marriage, I think it's like what you said, like, you know, just the attention. It's like you get stuck into the same routine, and it's like, you know, there's nothing more. You know, you go out of your way to try to make things different, and you don't think of things like the response is kind of like flat. But when they're pursuing you, then it's, you know, it's like the response is like a higher level response, like interest.
Right.
But once you're there, it's like, okay.
They start taking it for granted. So people just start taking each other for granted. That's probably,
goes both ways.
you know, people say, you know, the leading causes of divorce are finances, communication, sex. At the end of the day, the leading cause of divorce is probably the fact that you start taking each other for granted.
Yeah.
Because when you start taking each other for granted, all that other stuff dissipates. You don't communicate as much. You don't care about providing the sex as much. You know, the finances. I mean, all that stuff sort of follows after you start taking each other for granted. So wow.
Tisa,
Yes. Great.
said men allowed to have their mouth is open.
Some of
I
them,
said some men you can determine that they're lying because their mouth is open. Yeah, I said it.
they have been
And she said you men tell her unnecessary lies.
unnecessary.
Right. And women do the same thing.
What? I'm
Yes,
sure
they do.
some
When
women
you ask a
do.
woman how old they are, she hollers from 25.
Oh, I tell my age. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud of my years.
Now let's be clear. Men and women alike.
But that's not
Lie.
serious a lie like that, like your age.
But Kissling says
When
that's
you
just
have
a
more than
little
one
lie.
woman, you need to be honest. It's a whole nother
But
thing.
could you handle that if the person was honest enough to tell you that?
Yes,
It's nice knowing you,
Yes.
but I'm not going to join your hair.
absolutely.
And that's the reason why some men lie to you. 'cause some
Men don't lie because they don't think a woman
I
can't
wish you the
handle it.
best.
Let me just
We
say
can be
this.
friends.
Men do not lie because they don't feel that a woman can handle the truth. That's not why men lie. Men lie because they're afraid of what they're going to lose. Yeah.
Let's talk.
So let's be clear on that.
It's all about them.
We're very well capable of handling whatever it is you guys have to tell us, but allow us to make an informed decision.
Thank you. And this is why I teach you guys. Let them make the choice. Because
Let us make our own choices. Yeah.
it's not going to kill you. They might look at my feelings.
The
will be
lie
hurt.
may kill you in the end.
The lie may kill you. Hey guys, listen. This has been a good podcast. It's been a good podcast, but listen, it's time to go. We've been at this for an hour, and it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's been an hour. Thank you so much to the panel guests today. We've got, of course, as always, the infamous, crazy DJ Grady Baby. And then a face that you guys are very familiar with, the birthday girl, my soror, Tammy Smith, Aquarius Nation, she says. And then we've got my ace, my line sister number one, the ace, Miss Kissling Lewis. Thank you for joining us, Kissling.
Welcome, dog.
And then we've got the peacemaker. my girl, Radia Mormon. Yeah, Radia. Radia Mormon. So thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being on. And thank you, listeners. You always show up and show out. Thanks for your comments. Thank you for your feedback. We learn as much from you as you do from us. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll respond to each and every one of your comments because you matter. You are relevant. Thank you for joining us. And stay tuned next week with more of the Tisa Batey Show live here on Facebook. And if you don't see it on Facebook, if you're not able to see it, if you have friends who want to see it who are not on Facebook, admonish them to go to djgradybaby.com and you can hear all of it. So thank you guys again for joining us, and we will see you next time. Great podcast, great feedback. Thanks, guys. See ya.